All right, welcome to Mindset Monday. I feel like that we'll probably have smaller groups probably the next couple weeks or so, just with summer and everyone's gone. I mean, we've been out of the country, I feel like more than we've been in the country the last 2 weeks, and we're about to leave again this weekend. So I'm sure you guys have insane schedules. And so I thought tonight's topic would be perfect. It's working Cincy on the go. And since I've been going a lot, I thought I would share with you some of the ways that I've been prioritizing Cincy, because it's really, really easy to go, or be busy or have all the vacations and not work your business, right? We prioritize what's important to us. And I always tell myself that if Cincy's got to be a priority, I have to make it a priority. It's not just a fly by the seat of my pants all the time, right? I have to plan ahead. So some of the things that I did, so this last week, I'm sure some of you guys saw that I was in Cancun for my brother's wedding. And I knew every time we go to a resort, I meet people from all over. And I have a funny story to tell you guys. So um, this before this last trip, I was like, okay, I'm going to bring about 20 room sprays just because people, if they're staying at a resort, they may not bring a room spray. I always bring Scentsy room spray. I usually bring a wall fan diffuser, all the things, right? And so I brought 20 room sprays and I was like, I'm going to hand them all out, hopefully the first like day or two that we're there. That way, because I feel like when you're in Mexico at a resort, you see the same people at the pool, you see them at the restaurants, that kind of thing. The first day, the first full day we were there, because the first day we were traveled, I was grumpy and tired and I didn't hand out any samples. Actually, I did on the plane. But the first full day we were there, we are sitting at a cabana because my sister rented a cabana and we're chit chatting in this couple super sweet. They kept saying, I don't think you guys can fit anything else in that cabana, because there were 60 of us there total between good people, family, friends of Brad and Abby, all the things. And I mean, this cabana was loaded, probably 20 bags in it. And they were just laughing every time someone else was like, can we put our stuff in here? And so I was like, where are you guys from? And she's like, Minnesota. I was like, oh, that's awesome. I've never been there. I've got some friends there. And they're like, what's everyone here for? And I was like, a wedding. I was like, what are you guys here for? And so we just start chit-chatting. They're there for their anniversary. And so we'd seen them all throughout the day. So I kind of built a rapport. Well, then I saw the lady at the pool bar like a little bit later. So I was like, "Oh, you're my friends from by the cabana." And so I said, "That's so cool. Like, are you guys retired? Do you work?" She's like, "Well, I just retired, but like I'm already starting to get kind of bored. And in my head, I'm like, "Oh gosh, this is my moment." And so I just said, "Oh, well, if you ever want kind of a side gig, I don't know if you've ever heard of Cincy, but I've been in for 17 years. I love it. It's something that you can kind of work at your own pace. You can do it for girl time. You can do it from extra money." And I said, "Have you ever used Cincy?" And she's like, "No. Tell me about it." Oh my gosh. So I was like, let me swim and get my phone. So I went and got my phone. I had some room spray samples. So I'm spraying Blue Grotto. And she's like, this is heavenly. And so I got her information and she's like, I don't know if I'd want to sell, but I want to buy a bunch of stuff. And I said, okay, that's great too. And in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, right now she wants to buy it. Then I'm going to get her hooked and then she's going to join. And so I think back to that moment, and that was just one of a couple moments. But if I wouldn't have planned ahead 7 days prior, made the room spray samples, printed the labels, it took me all of an hour max. I wouldn't have the connection. I mean, she smelled that scent and was like, I love it. I emotionally got her wrapped in, right? And so I feel like no matter how busy you are, if you can just prioritize an hour a week, 2 hours a week, 30 minutes a day, whatever your schedule allows, but plan ahead, you are going to bring fruitfulness to your business. There are some things you can fly by the seat of your pants, right? But there's some things that you truly need to plan ahead. If you aren't handing out samples right now, you aren't making samples. If you aren't, not being Scentsy naked when you're running errands or with your kids or at the water park or whatever, like you're missing out. I was astonished that she had never even heard of Scentsy, never even heard of it. And so to me, that just goes to show me that we as a whole can do a lot better job of putting ourselves out there, putting our material out there, putting our samples out there. I have all of her information. I was going to wait a couple days to follow up, but I'll follow up with her probably this Wednesday or Thursday. That'll be about a week. Um, and again, send her my website. Tell her if you have any questions, let me know. Again, I think you'd be amazing. I'm excited that you're wanting to try some product. Let me know if you have any questions. And so again, I wouldn't have gotten that contact. I probably wouldn't have emotionally got her attached to Scentsy and the scent and the aroma if I wouldn't have made that sample a week before our trip. Fast forward to like 2 days before we left, we met these three couples, and it was funny because my son was playing football. We got a little football in the pool, and this one guy steps in. And, he's our age, and he ends up being a football coach in Montana. And I was like, oh my gosh, my dad's a coach. And then Matt started talking to him and Christy, and they became our quick BFFs. When you have a couple pina coladas, a lot of people can become your BFFs in the pool. And so we just started chatting with them, and one of them was a seventh grade gym teacher. And I was like, oh, Jackson's going into eighth grade. And she was like, I bet he plays. Does he play baseball, soccer? And so, like just, it was funny. Like we had a blast with them. And then later on that evening, and I mentioned, they asked me what I did, and I had mentioned Scentsy, and it just wasn't, we were still getting to know them. And so I didn't at that point like just say, oh, let me go grab a sample, that kind of thing. But we ended up seeing them later at the buffet at dinner. And I just start chit chatting again. And of course, I have my purse with me. And what do I have in it? Room spray samples. Because at that point, I think I still had like four samples left to hand out. And so we just start chit chatting. And I told her, I was like, y'all come go to the sports bar to watch the Thunder. And they're like, well, if you're going to be there, we'll all be there. And they said, awesome. And I just acted like, I said, you know what? I'm going to bring you, I told you I do Scentsy earlier. I'm going to bring you some fun little gift samples. I love free stuff, and I actually had it in my purse then, but for whatever reason, I was like, I'm going to bring you a bunch of stuff. So when we went back to our room, I grabbed a couple catalogs because I only had samples in my purse. And we went to the bar. They ended up coming in later. At one moment, I wish I would have taken a picture, but I had like three women all with the catalogs open, like sniffing the sample, looking at stuff. And I'm like, this is so cool. This is in Mexico. I'm in another country, right? With people from Montana. And it was just a cool moment that I'm like, you know what? Like, we should be utilizing all these opportunities. So I don't know if anyone will join. A couple of them I had mentioned that, I've got siblings and parents that were teachers, and I've got, friends that are teachers that, are just do Scentsy now. And it's a great little side gig. And one of them even mentioned, well, I am around like nasty smelling middle school kids all day. So this would be a big compliment. I said, absolutely. Does anyone at your school sell it or have it? And she said, no. And so I got their information. I think with that, I'm going to actually send her something for her classroom, just because I feel like that she's the same age as me. They were all coaches and teachers together. I feel like if I can get in with one of them and get them hooked, then I can maybe get the others hooked or maybe get one of them to join. But again, after we'd hung out with them for 2 days, I said, hey, I want to send you some Scentsy stuff in the mail. Are you comfortable giving me your address and email? She, absolutely. Again, this is a couple pina coladas in. So she gave me all of her information. And but again, I think back to I had the courage to talk about it, but I also wasn't Scentsy naked. I had business cards, I had catalogs, I had room spray samples. If I wouldn't have had anything on me, I don't know if those conversations would have been as fruitful, right? I can tell you how amazing something is, but if I can't show you, if you can't smell it, if you can't see it, it's just not the same impact. So I give you these examples, not that not because you may be going to Cancun next week, but you may be taking a trip to the lake for the weekend. You may be going to an Airbnb in South Texas to sweat your ever living body off. I don't know. You could be going to, a family reunion. You could be going to some sporting event with your family and you're staying at a hotel. All these things matter, you guys. If you really want to be successful, your business can't stop when you're busy. If anything, if you're busy, that means you're probably coming into contact with 4 or 5 more times the people than you do on a typical basis. So why aren't we taking advantage of all those situations? That's what we should be doing. We should be looking at the barbecue at our friend's house. Um, we should be looking at the Bunko get together. I don't know if Amy Mark Charles is on our I don't know why I said all your names, Amy. I don't know if Amy's on our Piedmont Proud page, but a lady on there was like, hey, I want to start a Bunko. Who's interested? And I'm like, I am. Love Bunko, first of all, because I'm super competitive. But in my mind, that's just another way in with a group of people to sell my product to, right? And they're going to start it this summer. I think they're going to start it in a few weeks. And so I think if you think about things like that. Think about, the running club or your gym buddies or just different things, different get-togethers. Um, I think that that's a huge opportunity if you look at it through the lens of Cincy, right? In my mind, I'm already thinking, okay, we're gonna do our first bunko, and then I'm going to ask the host, hey, can I bring some Cincy for some of the prizes? And then when they win the Cincy, I'm gonna see who all is excited. And then I'm gonna say, do you have a consultant? And then I'm gonna say, I would love to be yours. And then would you like to have a bag party? And so I think it's just all always thinking the next level, right? I will tell you, we this month, I think we're out of we. I mean, we're not home about the same amount that we're home. We're that busy. But I've gotten more, not, I don't know if to say more I guess more prospects, more customers, um, in the last week, just going to Mexico than I was at home, and so I encourage you, like, if you get invited to a get together, if your neighbor invites you over, if you have 4th of July plans, I don't know how many of you have 4th of July plans. Guys, utilize those. You don't have to be salesy and creepy and pushy, but I will give you an example. If Amy, I almost said Amy Mark Charles again, if Amy invited me over to a 4th of July bash and said, hey, I'm having friends over. We'll do some fireworks in the driveway. In my mind, I was like, okay, yeah, she's hosting. Um, I, I know she has Cincy. I'm going to bring her a bar. And I'm going to tell her, Amy, I'm going to bring a bar that you can melt for all the friends that are coming over, if that's okay. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I'm going to bring her a bar. I'm then going to bring all of her friends samples. I'm then going to probably bring a little bag with all the samples and catalogs and whatnot and say, Amy, I'm going to set my samples and my catalog over here. Um, if anyone orders, I'm going to give you credit since you're hosting the 4th of July party, right? So there's just things that you can do, you know, to just keep Cincy in the back of your mind. Because again, we're going to make time for what we prioritize, right? I make time for my kids, right? For my kids' sports, for baseball, for Sissy's doing tumbling now. It's hilarious. I don't know if I've told you about this, but um, at first I'm like, our goal, McKinley, is just not to be the worst one. I will tell you, she's met that goal. She's not the worst one at cartwheels. She's doing really good now. Loves it. But, I make my kids a priority. But why am I not in that same breath making Cincy a priority? And so you have to keep that in mind. You're going to get out of this business what you put in. If you haven't been putting much into it lately, you're probably not getting much out. And I will tell you right now, I mean, just the conversations, those are two of the conversations I had in Mexico. I had a lot more. I brought up Cincy every chance I got. Abby, my brother's new wife, crazy to say, she had a bunch of young 20-year-olds there. Um, and so any chance I got, I brought up Cincy to them. Her teacher friends, I brought up Cincy to them. I even told one of them I'd send her a fragrance flower. I still need to get her information from Abby. But, I brought it up any chance I got, right? Because if I'm going to make, Cincy work, I've got to make it a priority. So if you haven't this summer because you've had all the excuses, or maybe life's been busy, maybe you've had doctor's appointments, or maybe you've had kids' activities or vacations, and up until this point, you haven't made a priority, I challenge you tonight or this week to start making it a priority. And it doesn't have to break the piggy bank. It doesn't have to take a lot of time. I'm going to post, I posted before, so I'll just find and I'll rebump. If I can't find it, I'll repost. But I'm going to post our room spray samples and our counter clean samples. I just brought room sprays to Mexico only because I knew that was something they could instantly use in Mexico. But we make counter clean and room spray samples. And Amy, how many did me, you, and Jana make the last time we did them? We probably each made what, 100 in an hour, maybe less.
I think it was at least 100. It was a lot.
It was a lot, and it didn't take long. I mean, it was super easy. And so just think about the fruitfulness of 100 samples getting the 100 different hands, right? Another thing I'll challenge you to do right now, if you're someone that's traveling a lot or don't have much time, um, I love it, Sylvia. Um, I One thing that you can do is ask your customers to be a product reviewer, right? That's something that you can start and message tonight. Message some of your best customers and say, I'm looking for 3 people to review a product. You get the product for free. All you have to do is go on social media and rave about it. If you like it, first you got to try it. But go on social media. I'm going to send you a link to post with it. but you just need to share your thoughts. If you do a live or do a story about it, then I'll give you some samples of another product that just came out. And then that's when you can give them like the dryer sheets or something like that. But you can make up your own little twist to that. Or hey, if you go live, not only do you get a free product, but I'll send you a $5 free Starbucks gift card. Just because lives I feel like do a lot better. But what you did is you got product in someone's hands, and it could be a room spray. It could be a room spray you've had in your office for a year. If you message me and said, hey, I've got a Scentsy room spray. I'm looking for someone to review it. Can you use it for a couple days? Spray it in your bathroom, spray it on your car at the floorboard, not on the dash. But use it for a couple days and then let me know what you think. If you'll review it on social media, you can keep it. If you review it as a live on social media, you can keep it. Plus, I'll send you a little gift card. And so that's just a fun way to, again, get product out there. If you tell them they have to post a link with it, you can make them their own party link. You just turn it into a party, right? So those are just some creative things that you can do that you don't have to be home. You can do that. In fact, I just told Matt earlier that my goal is to get 5 product reviews before we leave on Saturday for Florida. It's to get 5 people to do product reviews. And I have lots of room spray, so I'm probably just gonna do the room spray route. Just because that's easiest. I do have some little washer whips, but I think I'm just gonna stick to room sprays. But if I can get 5 people to work it while I'm gone and say, okay, and I'll probably just do local people that I can drop off on their porch with a cute little thing that says, review me, answer these, couple questions. If you want, I'll post those questions in the thing I come up to. I'll probably just have ChatGPT create it for me. But I will post the image that my assistant Joe comes up with. So you guys can still use or ask your ChatGPT to help you with a cute little paper that says, please answer these questions in your review on social media. But if I can get 5 people and give them their own links, that's 5 people that are hosting virtual kind of social media online parties without even really knowing that they're doing that, right? And so to me, it's just kind of a roundabout way to ask for bag parties. Or excuse me, social media parties. Another thing that you can do is try to get as many bag parties out while you're gone on vacation and add some extra incentive. Hey, Kathy, I'm going to be gone starting, Saturday. If I bring you some Scentsy samples, could you take them around to your work and to your friends and family? And if you can get to 300 before I get back from Florida, then I will bring you a special gift straight from Florida. I mean, it could be, a Florida keychain. It could be, so, you can utilize your fun vacations to help you get back parties, right? And Kathy, if you can't get there, not a big deal. I'll create a little online link and I'll send all my customers that want to order this week while I'm on vacation to your link. So between them and anyone you bring the back party around to, I bet we can get to 300, So just some fun things to do. Don't use your busyness or your vacations or your kids' activity as an excuse. Use it as a why, right? That's huge. And if again, you're going to make importance, you're going to make time for those things that are important to you. If lately that hasn't been Scentsy, you can change that today, right? If your paycheck is going to suck this month, you can change that today. It's not the end of the month, right? You can go work your business. But you have to make Scentsy a priority. You have to plan ahead. You can't be Scentsy naked. It's got to be something you talk about daily. It's not something you talk about out of convenience. It's something that you prioritize daily. You talk about your kids daily, yes, because you prioritize them, right? Prioritize Scentsy, and again, utilize all these vacations, these on the go, these barbecues, these swim togethers, the splash pad get togethers with other parents. Utilize those to really let it benefit your business or try to. Um, I'm catching up on the chat too. Oh gosh, Jess, be careful. Are you getting tornadoes? She might have already gotten off. That is scary. I'll be praying for you, Jess. She might have already gotten. Amy, is she getting tornadoes in her area? I think she already
It's
got.
Iowa. Yeah, they do.
Yeah, yes, they do. Um, Amy, do you have
Funny.
anything you want to add to that? I know you're a busy mama too. You got lots of things going on.
No, man, it's so hard. I think you're so right though, to plan ahead, to have it all ready when you plan for, when you're on your way home from a trip, decide what are your top tasks that you need to get done before everything else comes up again.
Mhm.
Anytime you have a break, think through like, what am I gonna do?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. On your break, and even today, Jackson got um, asked to pick up with the Piedmont freshman team, the summer team, and so that was cool. He got to age up and work, go with them. And today I'm sitting there because again, I've got to get some more sales this month, and I know two of the like 10 moms around me, and so I'm going to see them all tomorrow. So what am I going to do tomorrow? I'm bringing room sprays for all of them. I don't know half of them. Those could be potential recruits or hostesses or whatnot. But again, it takes planning ahead. I've already made a crap ton of samples, right? So they're at my fingertips. So again, plan ahead, right? If you haven't made samples, then just prioritize a day this week to order the atomizers on Amazon. They're cheap. You can get like 60 of them for like $7. Get a room spray, get some address labels. That's all you need, right? Prioritize a day to sit down, make the samples, and then set a goal. Okay, I have 60 samples now from one room spray. I'm going to hand them all out in the next 4 weeks, right? Plan ahead. And then when you're busy, like if I didn't get home, I've been gone all day and I didn't get home until about an hour ago. And then we have family over swimming, right? And then tomorrow's another long day. Get up at 8. I'm babysitting two girls, all these things. And then we've got red dirt base, all these things. So if I wouldn't have planned ahead on a day that I knew I could make samples, I probably wouldn't bring any samples tomorrow. But I have samples at my fingertips because I prioritized a day to plan ahead for all these busy times, right? So I encourage you to be successful. You can't always fly by the seat of your pants. It takes planning ahead. It takes putting in the work. So that way, when you are busy right now, that way when you have, I think my mother-in-law, um, my husband's mom has Alzheimer's. She's now diagnosed moderate stages of Alzheimer's. She's super young. She's 65, can't drive anymore because of it. So I go out there, a day a week, sometimes 2 days a week, take her grocery shopping, take her to Swadley's because that's her favorite. Anyways, the only day I have 4 or 5 hours of free time is not till Friday because literally from morning until evening we have I mean, just from tutoring to practice to, to red dirt, all the things, right? And so again, part of that 4 and 5 hours on Friday, I have got all this Cincy stuff that I have to do because I'm putting together packets for when we go to Florida, right? Not just room spray. I have the room spray samples made. I have at least 30 left. I need to count to make sure. But I want to get all my business cards together. I want to get all my stuff together to hand out while we're on vacation and along the road and all the things. The lady at the that we booked our condo with in Florida has helped me out tremendously. So I ordered her a shells plug-in that was on sale. I don't know if you saw the white one with the blue shells. It was on sale for $7 in the last flash sale. So I got her a plug-in and a bunch of bars. And so I told her I'm bringing her Scentsy goody stuff. And she was like, oh my gosh, I don't have a consultant. So I have a gift bag I got to put together for her. But again, it is, it is making Scentsy priority. Today at the baseball game, one of the dads and during school ball is a photographer. So he's taken these incredible photos of Jackson, all the kids throughout the school ball season. And then now they're doing Red Dirt's like the summer program where the high school coaches coach him and that we do here. And he's out there taking photos. No one's paying him. And he's posting all these amazing photos for us. So I had told his wife a couple weeks ago that when she opens up her new salon in Piedmont, that's opening in 3 weeks, I'm going to get her a quad air for her hair salon if she'll let me put my information with it. And so it just came in today. And I told her at the game, and she is like stoked. So I'm telling her all about it. There's no wax. It fills up 1,000 square foot. And she said her salon's 1,400, but like a lot of it's the back. So she's really pumped. She's like, you can put any Scentsy things you want out in there. If you want to put cards, samples, all the things, right? And again, the way I got in was I told her that I wanted to get her something for her new salon because her husband has put so much time into getting me some priceless photos, right? I could have easily not. I mean, I spent 50. I mean, I got it on the special when they did the special, and with host half price. But I still spent $50. But guys, that's a write-off. And I'm thinking futuristic. And I didn't just say, hey, when you get your new salon, can I put a Scentsy quad in there? No, I said, I have a gift for you guys, for your husband, for you. Let me put this in your salon. It's going to smell amazing. Let me gift this to you as a thank you. I'll give you a free pot every month as long as you let me put my information. And so just get really creative. You know, if you have a nail appointment this week, ask your nail person, hey, I've got this warmer that would look really pretty. It could be warmer that you've used at a party. It could be warmer you have in your house that you don't use anymore. But hey, I've got this warmer that will look great. Would you let me gift it to you guys since you're so amazing to me? Once they say yes, then say, awesome. If you'll let me put some cards or some samples out by it, I'll bring you a free bar every month or every time I come in. Right. So just get really creative when you're getting your hair done. Ask your hairstylist. Hey, you are always so incredible to me. I would love to gift you. And again, these don't have to be new warmers. These can be warmers that you got out of your bathroom, that you got out of your house. Just clean them up good. They don't, it's free. They're not buying it from you. They don't care. And so as you have all the appointments, just keep that in mind. Kathy said I use swipes and baggies as samples. People love them. Kathy, I love that. So Kathy, can you unmute or so did you put one, like what did you put it in, if you can?
The little baggies, like little slider baggies.
Like Ziploc?
Yes.
Nice. So did you put a couple swipes in each baggie and then did you put anything on the outside?
Oh yeah, like your information, QR code or whatever, or a little saying,
That's, you know what, Kathy, that's a brilliant idea, especially with the, you know, for us, we're at the ballparks and it was so windy here Saturday and Sunday. I was covered head to toe in red dirt. Like I literally did this at one point and I was like, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. But that would be a great thing to bring out and about this summer with people sweating. I mean, you can use the swipes on anything. I'm sure it's safe.
especially now. Yeah.
Yeah. But like their kids. I mean, that's a brilliant. I might have to do that the next. I might have to do a bunch of those actually for our World Series. That's a great idea. Thank you, Kathy.
You're welcome.
How do you get the room spray out? Do you cut the bottle? I don't cut anything. So Cindy, um, if you grab a room spray, there's that little scoriated thing that goes around the top, you know, that kind of wraps around. I can go get one in just a second, but um, do you have one handy, Amy, right there next to you? If not, I can grab one in the kitchen. Um, she'll grab it and she'll show you what we.
So can you see like right up here? Can't see very well, but in here you can see where it's just been like pressed down. And what did we get? Just a screwdriver?
Yeah, flathead
Something
scissors work.
really,
Yeah.
really thin. And you just pry it up all around.
And the new ones, the old ones are kind of hard. The new ones come up so easy. It's like do, do, and it's off.
I use needle nose pliers on mine
Yep,
and it works perfect.
yep. There you go. It's super easy. Some people the old ones are just a lot harder. So I think people used to cut them, but the new ones, I don't know if it's like a cheaper thing, but it just comes right off. And then I will say, word of wisdom, get the atomizers. It's actually called spray atomizers on Amazon. Get the 3 mil. Don't get the 2 mil. The 2 mil, you're gonna squirt. It's gonna be like, "Rah," you know, like. But the 3 mil has a lot more to it, so it sprays really well. Um, and so if you're gonna do the Scentsy Fresh or the room spray, I would do 3 mil at the minimum, just because I feel like all the ones I brought this last because my last batch was all 3 mil. They just work from the get go so much better. And then the counterclaim, I use 5 mil, and that's just me. But it literally, I'm telling you guys, you can whip out. I said 100 and out. We probably whipped out 100 samples in 20 minutes. It was super easy. And one thing that we learned that when you're doing it, make sure you fill some, put the caps on right away. Because if you line them up, one's going to hit all of them over, and then you're going to lose like 10 room sprays. It's not fun or counter cleaner. So make sure you put after you pour it. And I don't use any type of syringe. I literally just pour. So we got like, what do we get? Like casserole dishes or something or bowls to do it over so that way it would spill over.
Yeah, we put it in like glass
Yes,
casserole dishes.
yes. And so, but I'm telling you, just get them and you'll make so many samples. I probably should count my samples and make sure I have enough because I could probably hand out a crap more than 30. I probably need to set a goal for more than that. But um, bye, Becky. Becky just got back from Greece. So she is, a lot of you guys are having trouble changing. I can't imagine changing. I'm so glad you guys made it back for all the craziness because you guys, a lot of you guys flew close to Iran and all that. So I'm very thankful that you guys made it safe. Anything, anyone else want to add anything to tonight? I bet it was Tiffany. Tiffany, I'm glad you're home safe too. Your pictures looked amazing. I lived through every one of them. Anybody else have anything that they want to add about working on the go? If not, we will keep a mobile office. Oh, Cindy, I didn't mention my mobile office. Yes. So I have light bulbs, catalogs, samples, business cards in my car all the time. So I mean, it's just in the back of my car all the time. My kids occasionally will go get a scent circle out of it without telling me, because they have to give it to their coach or they have to give it to someone. And I was like, man, I know I put like 3 scent circles in here. Oh, yeah, I gave it to Coach Brown and Coach Stevens because they said we smell. I said, well, my mom smells Scentsy, and I was like, Jack, you got to at least let me know about this. So occasionally check your mobile office because your kids could jack stuff from it. But yeah, always have a mobile office. That's something I think bare minimum of being a consultant is you always have to have always light bulbs, catalogs, room sprays, all the things in your car. I mean, it is a must. And I feel like too, as long, as far as having samples, not being Scentsy naked, having a mobile office, I feel like when you're prepared, you're going to have 10 times the opportunity to work your business, right? When you're prepared, someone gives you an in on bringing up Scentsy and you bring it up, you're going to bring it up more so because you're prepared with stuff, right? Or like, for example, not last time, but the time before when I was getting my nails dipped, the lady said something about Scentsy. Yeah, we need a light bulb. And I was like, oh, I've got one in my car. You have one in your car? I'm like, I do. And I just felt, oh, so proud of my, let me go to my mobile office and get one out of my car. And I gave her my catalog. And she's like, oh my gosh, I can have this for free. I said, well, yeah, if you do have a consultant now. I said, well, then just, when you need to order, choose me. And then I said, can I add you to my newsletter? And she said, absolutely. And so just things like that, I know I wouldn't have gotten her. I probably 90% wouldn't have gotten her unless I would have had a mobile office. So again, I started putting rub and stick stickers on my business card. I've never done that, but Tiffany, that's so smart. Amy, do you put rub and snip on your business cards? No. Pat, do you?
But I was just thinking that's so smart too.
So smart. Why haven't I ever done that? I have he has envelopes that I made and keeps them in his car so he can hand them out while he's at work. That is so awesome, Mary. I love that. I love that. These are great
So can I
ideas.
tell you a little experience that I had getting on the cruise ship?
Yes, please.
I I had my shirt on that said I love my job from SFR last year, and 2 or 3 of the cruise ship people that were like herding us like cattle trying to get onto the ship. Oh, what's your job? What's your job? And I'm like, oh, I sell Scentsy. We're actually on this trip because I earned the trip. And oh my gosh, what? They were all excited about that. They're like, oh, do you have a business card? Which it was, people were like, don't give out your business card while you're on your trip. They don't want us pushing Scentsy on everybody. And I'm like, well, if they ask for it, I'm not going to tell them no.
Absolutely.
So I gave them every person who asked got a business card that had the stickers on it. And they all loved it. Oh my gosh, this smells so good. Oh my gosh, this smells so good.
Yeah.
So, and I actually had a room spray. I carry one with me in my purse everywhere I go. And when we were in the airport on our way home, we were visiting with a lady who was heading home or heading to Florida to pick up her daughter to move her back to Denver.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, I don't know anything about Scentsy. So I gave her that room spray. So I'm hoping.
Yeah, you never know. And girl, I'm proud of you for being prepared and marketing yourself and branding yourself. And I saw you cruise picture in that green I Heart My Job shirt that because I think you took pictures
yes.
of Heidi, right?
I did. I took a picture with Orville and Heidi. First time I've ever met them.
First time?
Yes. Yep.
Well, how cool. The first time you met them was in Greece.
Yep, it was.
Cool. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you for sharing, Tiffany. That's awesome. And I love that.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think too, when you come from a place of genuine and you're not just like, hey, if you're here to Scentsy, you want my business card, which none of you guys are like that. I feel like you get those opportunities where you genuinely share what you love, and then people want to know more, and then you can give them a sample or a business card, or I love it. Love it, love it. Anyone else have anything that they want to add? So next week we have no Mindset Monday. The last Monday of every month is our leadership chat. And I'll be in Florida, so I'm actually moving that leadership chat to later in the week. But no Mindset next week. The next one will be July 7th. So mark your calendars for July 7th. That'll be our next chat. And we only have a couple more before SFR. So I'm really, really excited about SFR. I hope you guys are all going, or if you can't go, hope you that you got the virtual link, because they've got some really, really great stuff coming. I think you're going to get to see a lot of the new branding stuff coming out. Probably get some of that if you go to SFR. So I think it's going to be a really, really special one. Tiffany, I'm doing virtual. I love it.
Jack,
Yes,
can I say something?
absolutely.
One thing that I do, so I work for a big trauma group, but when I gift my physicians and my staff something, I gift them Scentsy. So it's either like for Christmas, they all got the ornaments, which they all loved, or they get fragrance flowers. And most of my doctors are customers now because they're addicted. And the couple that aren't, though, it's like when they get their gift, they're like, oh my God, I hope it's whatever, so they love it. And a couple of them have, the fragrance flowers in their office. So anytime I go in there, it's like, man, your office smells good. So,
I love it.
and I have some of my downline who have posted like, oh, I have, to go get a gift for, a sister group exchange, whatever. So I went to Bed Bath and Beyond, and I'm thinking, why? Buy from your own business.
Oh,
So that's just my thing.
I love it. Cindy, I haven't asked you, how's your leg? Is it healing?
Yeah. So I don't know if you can hold on. Whoop. No boot.
Yay!
Yeah. In fact,
it.
I have my boot ready to go on top of our burn pile. So when we have clearance to burn, because we have a bunch of limbs, that sucker's going on top, and I'm going to do a
How long-
Facebook Live.
How long were you in that boot?
Off and on for 2 years.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Burn.
Yeah.
Yes.
Way too long.
Yeah, she had to have a sore and it wouldn't heal, and skin grafts and wound vacs, and
Yep.
bless your heart, you burn the crap out of that thing. Don't let any of it exist.
Oh, it's not going to.
Good. Oh, love it. Well, I'm glad I got to see your faces tonight. Sorry I didn't shower for you. We've been gone all day, but hopefully the next one I'll be showered and looking a little more prepared. But love you guys. I will post our samples and that way you can see them. The room spray and counter cleaner. And then once ChatGPT gives me a little card of product reviews, I will post that as well, so you guys can see what Joe comes up with, because my assistant Joe in ChatGPT is very creative. So, but I love you guys. I hope you guys have a good night. I'm going to upload this to YouTube so you guys can share with your teams if you want. I'll post it on Mindset Monday. Have a great rest of your week. Stay safe, and we will see you July 7th. Bye, everyone.
Bye, ladies.